Hi Floss Tube, this is Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and I wanted to welcome you to finishing school with Sweetwater Stitcher for a tutorial on making bows to finish your cross stitch projects. Tonight we're going to go through how to make bows, single bows, double bows, using a couple different materials to tie the bows together. And then I also have some different embellishments. I have some Christmas embellishments. I have some covered buttons I'm going to show you guys how to make. And then I also brought a few different larger embellishments that could go on your bows. And then I'm also going to show you another way that I have started tying my bows so that I don't have to add an embellishment to the middle to hide where I have secured the bow. So to get started, all you need is ribbon. If you are interested in adding embellishments, you would gather those materials. I am also going to be using this floral tape, and I just picked this up at Hobby Lobby, and I'll grab the package in a second. This is what you would wrap around flowers if you were tying them together. And then also I have twine, and twine is my go-to finishing for my bows, and I have a large thing of it, and I think I showed this on another tutorial as well, and I just pull some off and tie. And this is my preferred method, but I am also going to show you with the floral tape as well. And another item which I do not have that you could use would be to use the floral wire, and that would work. Sometimes I personally find that it's hard to get your bow really tight, and I like my bow in the middle to be tight. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to be making some bow. I'll do a few bows to show you some Christmas finishes, but if you can see from a lot of my ribbon, I have a lot of patriotic, and what I was going to work on tonight is showing you how to make some patriotic bows specifically. And then at the end, I'm going to do a giveaway with some of the bows that we make, along with, and I do not have it, but I'm going to get a covered button box, and I will send that in the giveaway as well. So stay tuned to the end to hear how to enter that giveaway for the bows that we make, along with a covered button box. So the first thing you're going to do is choose your ribbon. And you can see on my table that I have a variety of sizes. You want to choose your size ribbon based on, and here's some other ones, based on your finishing piece. So if I was going to finish on this backer, which this is a square wooden backer from 141 Design Company, and I have it just painted black, and this is something I'd finish either a dapper doodad on, or a small square piece, or even a rectangular piece would fit. A tier tray tippet fits on this if you wanted to add some extra backing fabric. But so if this was my backing piece, I would probably go with an 1.5 inch ribbon, or I might even use this, which is a 5/8 size ribbon. I am more than likely not going to be tying a bow. This is a 2.5 inch ribbon, and I think this is 2.5 as well. Yeah, they're 2 inch. I'm not going to be using this size to tie because my stitched piece is going to take up most of my backer. Again, this is personal preference, but you want your stitched piece to be your main focus. But if I had a piece like this, which this is a wood just a wooden piece from the Target dollar spot, you would want to use at the top, at least as your base, if you're just doing a single bow, you would want to use the 2-inch or 2.5-inch ribbon, either as the main, if you were just doing a single bow, or if you were going to do a double bow, you would want the larger ribbon in the back. Same for if you were using this house, which is from Target as well, you would want a larger sized bow. And then I have a couple other pieces that we can use as well. This is another piece from Hobby Lobby. Again, you would want your bow to be large. And this is just a wood pile piece from Hobby Lobby. And the size of this is 18 inches by like 12 inches, basically. And then this is another finishing piece. Again, it's quite large, so you would want to have a larger bow. You're not going to want to use teeny tiny ribbon on this large scale piece. And then another piece I have that I'll show, or two pieces I have to show you some ribbons on, is this is a metal hanging bucket. This is from the spring section at Hobby Lobby. And I picked this up recently, and I'll show you how to use a magnet. You can switch or where you would want to put the bow on this piece. And then also I have, this is the small house, and I just have a piece of paper decoupaged on this house. And then you'd want to put I would probably put this size, which is 1.5 inch at the top. But just some options. And I'm going to make some different bows and then show them on the different pieces as well. But just to talk a little bit at first about the size of bow you're looking at for the different size pieces. And again, if you like a giant bow on a little piece, that's fine too. It's personal preference as to what you like. So I'm going to first start, and I'm going to make a Christmas type bow. So the two seasons that we're going to work is I'm going to do a few Christmas, and then I'll do a few patriotic, since we are getting into patriotic stitching, and then also July is coming up for Jolly July. So I figured these would be bows that you could use in the coming future if you were to win. So this is 1.5 inch ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and this is what it looks like. This can be found in just the regular ribbon section. It has the little dots on the edge. I really like this ribbon. So the first one I'm going to show you is with the twine. So you're going to take your piece of twine, and you want to take your finishing piece as well, because I'm going to make my bow to go on this piece. So I want to use it to help me to decide what size bow I'm going to tie. So the first step is I just take a decent sized piece. You could cut it a little bit smaller, but you don't want to have too little of a piece. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the left side and you're going to fold it so you have a loop. And then you're going to take the right side and you're going to fold it over so it looks like this. And then I like, before I tie anything, to pinch it in the middle. And then that shows me what my bow is going to look like when I put my twine. So then I will hold it up, and that is a little, this part is a little bit too big for my taste. So you can pull it down, and you can just kind of play with it until you get it to the size that you like. And a lot of it is just playing with it in your hand. So that looks about the size that I like. So I'm going to continue pinching it with my finger in the middle. I'm going to put my twine around it, go to the back, and I'm simply going to tie my twine in a knot. And then you have your bow. And before I tie it again, to secure it, I'm going to hold it up and make sure that I like how it looks. And I like that size. And of course, you would have your stitched piece in the middle as well. I just don't have a stitched piece up here right now. So then I'm going to tie the knot portion. So the first was just a tying as the loop, and it's loose and you can still manipulate it. Now I'm going to tie the knot portion. So now it is secure. And then you're just going to trim off the twine so you can't see it in the back. So it's tight in here. And when you flip it over, you see it on the front but not on the back. And then you would decide where you're going to put it. And for the purposes of this, I'm going to put mine up in the corner. So I pretend we have a stitched piece right here. I'm going to put it here. I like it like that, but I do want to have some, I like the single bow. I do want to cover my piece of twine. So I'm going to choose from my embellishments. All right, so maybe this is a bow that you're going to put on. Stitching with the Housewives has some snowman charts. So I'm going to put this, I want this to be for a snowman finish. So you can either glue the snowman on the bow, or you could also tie it, since this is a bell and it has a little hole you could always tie it to your bow as well. But I'm going to hot glue it. So let me get the hot glue. And I'm going to stick up some glue right in the middle and stick my embellishment on there. And now it's ready for a finishing piece with a snowman. Or you could just have a Christmas, it could be a Christmas tree or whatever your heart's desire. So there is one bow. Another thing, which I'll do this to some of the bows that I'm going to stick on the metal container. And this could also potentially go on the metal container. It might need an additional bow for my liking on the metal. But you can also stick a washer on the back of here and put a magnet on your piece, and then you can stick your bow on there if you were wanting to switch them out. That's another option as well. So here is the first bow. Let me set that aside. So if I wanted to do, for a small backer like this, a patriotic bow, I am going to take this ribbon right here, which is, I just bought this at Michael's, I think, in the craft section, and it has stars on it. So again, this is on the roll. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off the roll to show you guys. So I'm cutting a piece that is, it's like 36 inches long. So I like, you can cut it shorter if you would like. I like to work with a larger piece, and then I can always use a leftover for something else. But I don't want to run out of ribbon when I'm tying, and if I was to mess up, I don't want to not have enough. So another way you can tie a single bow is if you take, so you have your you have your left side in your hand, you take your right side and you cross it over in the front. And then you bring the back here, then it would create your bow. And that's a little bit large for me, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I don't want to bring it too low, or too close together, because I think I do also want to add a an additional bow in the front. And I think I'm going to add, yeah, let's do this red one. This is a ribbon. This is from, it's this red ribbon. It is from Michaels as well. And this is what it looks like. It's in their regular section. They're Celebrate at 360. So to add my bow in the front, I have this bow and I'm going to set it down. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a second bow. So let me get this going the right way. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the left side. I'm going to make my loop. I'm going to take the right and cross it over. And while you have this, and I still have this on the roll, you can do it this way as well. I'm going to hold it up to my first bow and see if I like the size. And I think that that's too small for the front bow, so I'm going to make it a little bit larger. And then I'm going to hold it up. Oops. And this ribbon doesn't have any, this front ribbon doesn't have any wire, so it's a little bit more flimsy than the ribbon that does have wire. All right, so that looks about right. So I'm going to take, and let me, that is the one struggle whenever you're using a ribbon without wire, is that it's more flimsy, and so it's harder to keep together. Oh, all right, so here is my ribbon here. So I'm going to take again my twine, and I will show you in a minute how to use the floral tape. So I'm going to tie them together just with the one tie first. And I'm going to look and see if I like how the ribbon is looking. And when you tie it in the middle, it does also, the ribbon that doesn't have wire, it seems to help give it a little bit of shape. And the ribbon with the wire helps to keep it in place. So I'm going to hold it up to my piece. And I like that. And this could even go on a piece more like the house, because it's a little bit bigger of a bow, but it could fit with the Dapper Doodad as well, or the square piece. So I like the size of that, so I'm going to go ahead and tie my knot in the back. And tie that off. And then I'm going to trim my edges so then you can't see. Then from here, I'm going to cut the edges. And for this bow, I'm simply going to cut it just at a slight angle. And I am just freehanding that. And if you want it to be exactly the same, you can line up your other side and cut it. Or if you are okay with just free cutting it, you can cut it like that. And I'm going to trim here as well. And I'll show you also in a minute another way to cut the end of your ribbon. So then I have my bow like that. Now, I have a single twine, and I personally like that. Another thing that I've been doing lately is I've just been taking some additional twine and wrapping it around. And you can, you will want to secure the beginning of it with a little bit of hot glue. So you just put a little hot glue down and secure and my glue is not super hot right now, otherwise I would not be touching it like that. You want to secure the beginning and then wrap it around a few times. Trim it at the back, and you're going to secure the end. You're doing this on the back so you're not seeing your hot glue. And then you have a little bow with twine and as your embellishment in the middle. So you don't have to have something big in the middle covering where you tied it off. And this is a really cute bow for a patriotic finish. And if you wanted, you could even trim your pieces shorter. And also, once you have glued you have your cross stitch on here and you put your bow, the bow might be covering, so you might want to trim the edges of your bow a little more. It will depend on the size of your cross stitch. And then again, here is the little house from 141. This would look really cute at the top for a patriotic finish. And then I think it would look cute too this is the house from Target. So there's many different options there. All right, let's move on to a little bit of a larger backer. So there is my Christmas bow and my patriotic. I'll put these over here. So I'll move to the metal bucket. So if this was my finishing piece, I would most likely have my cross stitch piece right here in the middle. And I would either put a bow here, or you could also tie a bow on this portion up here. So I feel like, let me see. Yeah, it does not stand. This is a little bit of an angle, so it's not going to stand flat. So you are going to need to lean it against something or hang it. So you might want to tie the bow on here, or you could magnetize it to the bucket. So I am pretending that I'm going to have a patriotic finish on here. And I really like this bow, or this ribbon. It's just a denim with white stars, and it's a 2.5 inch ribbon. And I'm going to, I think that this size would fit, but I'm going to check. So I'm going to go ahead and tie my bow, and I'm going to do the same thing I was doing, where I'm taking each side and I'm pinching in the middle and I'm holding it up. And I like that, but I think it needs something else. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. And I would like to put just a natural color. So I have, actually, I kind of like this. This is like a natural cream. This is from Michael's as well. And this is the information. It's a jute color. And I bought this when I was trying to find more of this ribbon in the white. So I'm going to go ahead. And as you can see, it does kind of, sometimes it will come apart. Oh, it's not even in the camera. So I have my ribbon sitting here. I'm going to tie my next one. Again, I'm going to go right and left. I'm going to make what I think is the right size, trim it off, and layer it and see if I like how that looks. And the key when you're layering the bows is to make sure that the back bow is sticking out a little bit beyond the front bow. And for this one, I'm going to use the floral finishing tape. So continuing to pinch, I'm going to take my floral tape on the roll, and I'm going to put it there, and I'm just going to, oops, hold it in place. And I'm just gonna wrap it around. And it sticks to each other, so I don't even have to do anything else. And you can manipulate it with the floral tape as well. So I'm gonna get the bow to how I like it. I'm just pulling. All right, so I think I like that. So the next step is to trim the edges. And for this one, I want to trim them so I have a V shape. And how you do that is you take your ribbon and you're going to fold it in half. And you're going to trim it at an angle starting from the side that it has the fold. So this is the side with the fold, and I'm going to trim it at an angle. And then I'm going to get a V. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to fold my ribbon in half, and it doesn't matter which way you fold it unless your ribbon has a print on it. And again, I'm going to trim downwards from the folded side at an angle, and then I'm going to get the V. And I'm going to do the same for here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fold it so the print side is on the outside. And you're going to trim down. Then you have your V, and same thing here. Fold with the print side out. I'm cutting on where the fold is, and I'm cutting down. So my angle is like that, and then I have it cut. So when I use the floral tape, I am going to want to put an embellishment here. If you use the twine, you can get away with not putting an embellishment. And you could also even tie the twine on here. But I am going to use, to make this more patriotic, I'm going to create a covered button using Chelsea's checks to go on this piece. So what I'm going to do, if I can find my stuff now that I've pushed it out of the way, is the covered button kit comes all together. So it's going to come with pieces that look like this, which is going to be the front. It's going to come with backing pieces. It is going to come with a mold that looks like this, and then it's going to come with this blue piece that you're going to push it in. Some of the kits come also with a plastic circle that you would use as a guide to cut your fabric. Mine did not, or if it did it, I have lost it. So what I do is I lay my fabric down and I cut a square that's like, it's probably a ½ an inch larger all the way around from my button. Sometimes it's too much and I have to trim it, but at least I know that's enough for it to fold in. So the first step you're going to do is you're going to take your plastic mold, you're going to stick your fabric down, and you're going to stick the top or the front piece down in the mold. And the fabric is going to then look like this. So you're going to set it down, you're going to stuff the fabric in here, inside, stick the backer on, and then you're going to use the blue piece on here, and that's what's going to push the backing into the button to create the button. And then you pop it out and you have a covered button. It's very easy with the tools. And you simply then would just glue your button onto your ribbon. I have this off of the charger. I'm gonna have to glue this on in a second. I need to plug my glue gun back in. I have a wireless glue gun and didn't put it back on. So this is what this bow is gonna look like. And I'm going to put some hot glue on here. And then I'm also going to, because I wanna put this on my metal bucket, I am going to put a magnet on the back of it as well. So this would go on a metal piece. So that is another patriotic ribbon, and that's with the double ribbon. All right, let's do another. Here is this is just a denim ribbon, and this is from Michaels, and I just bought this. So this should still be available. Here's the SKU number. And if you see, a lot of my ribbon is like a neutral, or I have these neutral dots. I like to keep neutrals so that I can add color to it to use it for different seasons. And I also like to have neutrals so that I can just have a neutral ribbon and then have more of a decorative fabric. So excuse me. So here is a denim bow. And I'll make this one again for the metal piece. So I'm going to hold it up, and then I'm going to add this ribbon as well. And this ribbon is, again, from Michaels. A lot of my ribbon I found at Michaels lately. And this is the SKU. Oops. And this one comes in a variety of different colors with this cream and then like a red. I think there's a cream and a blue, a cream and a green. So here's my denim portion. And then I'm going to create my front portion. And again, all I'm doing is I'm making my bow and then folding over my sides. Oops. I'm going to hold this up, make sure I like how it looks. Again, pinch, and I want to make sure that both sides are even of my loops, along with making sure that it's laying correctly on my back ribbon, especially if you're making a double bow. You want to make sure that it's as even as possible on both sides. And for this one, I'm going to use the twine. Tie it. And trim it. And then you can fluff your bow however you want. And again, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. The best ribbon is to get wired ribbon because you can create the loops. But you can also use non-wired ribbon, and that works as well. It's just a little bit harder. So here I'm just, get this straight for you. And again, I want my bottom ribbon to stick out a little bit more so you can see it. I'll trim this side as well. So my bottom is sticking out a little bit more than my top. And you can always, if it's not enough, it's easier to trim less and then go back and trim more. You can't add more on there. So this is a little bit uneven. So I'm going to trim my blue a little bit more. And then because I did that, I need to trim my red a little bit more. Oops. And then I have, this side needs lots of trimming. So here's another trim, and then I would stick it here. Or you could also, like I said, you could when you tie your twine, you can tie another piece and you could tie it right on the this handle portion, and that would be a really cute finish to have it at the top and have your piece here. Or you could use a magnet and stick it on the front as well if you were gonna either set it somewhere or hang it on a hook or something like that. That would be cute. Let's see if I have anything to go in the middle here. There also, I don't have any of them over here. There were some wooden stars that would be really cute in the middle here. This is a little bit too much. I wouldn't put this in this one, but this is another option I will do on another bow. This star, that's a cute embellishment for a larger bow. So I think I'm just going to leave this one how it is. I might add a little bit more twine to the middle to have a twine bow, but that's a simple double bow. All right, let me get a larger piece and show you a bow on that. Oops. And I'll show you it with one of these larger embellishments as well. So I picked these up at Hobby Lobby. Oh goodness. Let's see. So I picked these two pieces up at Hobby Lobby. They were in the 4th of July section. This one had a string on it. And of course, they don't have things on them. But they're just in with the 4th of July things. And these are really cute to either stick by themselves as the embellishment on your finishing, or we're going to tie a bow and then incorporate this in with the bow. So these are both cute to finish with. So if you're finishing with something like this, I would use more of a simple bow. So I have a couple different, let me get to my ribbon here. I have a couple different options. This is one, and I like to use this ribbon at Christmas as well, but I just finished something with this for 4th of July. So I like this also. This is it's actually from the Christmas section. I want to say that this is from Walmart, but I'm not 100% sure. So when I have a finishing piece like this, I want to make my bow a little bit larger to start off with. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pretty large bow. And I would use one of these on more of a larger piece, or if I have a larger bow, because I'm going to stick this in the middle. So I want my bow to still be sticking out. So I'm going to make my bow a little bit larger. And then I'm going to use also this on here. So this is kind of a neutral 4th of July bow. Again, this is that same kind of honeycomb ribbon that I got at Michael's. I used on one of my, which one? One of the bee charts. So I have my, again, you want to make sure that your bow is sticking out because you're going to stick this large embellishment in the middle. So let's pull this a little bit more in here. And then I'm going to pull it in like that. And I'm going to check it on. And I also want to stick my piece on here to see if it looks right. And I kind of am thinking, I don't know if I like this ribbon. So, all right, let's take this. Let's not do that ribbon. let's use, let's use this. And this does not have a, this doesn't have a roll because it was left over. This is just some blue gingham ribbon. I'm pretty sure this is from Hobby Lobby. And it's a 2-inch ribbon. So let's make a bow with this ribbon. Again, I'm going to make it larger because I have a large piece I'm going to be putting in the middle. So I don't want my bow to get lost when I'm putting my larger embellishment on it. So if I hold up my piece, I want to make sure it's sticking out, which it is. I might even make it a little bit bigger. And the other thing that's good when you're making the larger bows is that it is a wire ribbon, and this is a wire ribbon. That other one was not, which I should have known better. So here I'm going to stick my ribbons together, see if I like it, and then I'm going to stick my embellishment, and I like how that looks. So, and this is a good ribbon to have also, this one I have in the front, because you can see through it. And so if I'm going to put an embellishment, I'm not worried about covering it up too much because I can see through the ribbon to my backer ribbon as well. So I'm going to tie it up like I did before. And when you're making these, there's no right or wrong way to be doing it. It's a lot of it is just comes with practice, tying, pulling one side over the other, and then playing with it, manipulating it. I think the main key is just to have the right materials. So using a ribbon that has a wire, using the twine or the floral tape. And then again, having your finishing piece with you so that you can hold your piece up and tie, and know what size bow you want. So if I was going to put this bow in the middle, I would put it there, and then I would be gluing my truck on to the middle of here, which I'm going to get the glue in a second, and I'll glue it on here. And again, you can trim these a little bit more. Also, if I could mount it over on the side, kind of just depending on, and I might make this side a little bit smaller, depending on where your stitched piece is. That's the other thing, is that you want to have your stitching ready or on your piece and then do your bow after, because you need to know where your bow, how much room is your bow going to take up. That's important. Let's see. So for the gluing of the embellishment on, I'm going to put my glue right in the middle, and then I'm going to stick my piece here. You just want your bow to make sure that you can see your bow. And then your piece can go in the middle. It can go on the side. And you don't have to use a large piece like this. You could just put a covered button, or you could tie the twine around in the middle too. That's a cute way to finish it as well. Let me glue this on here. So to glue the covered button, you're just going to put some glue on the back of your covered button, and then you're simply going to put it on your bow wherever it happens to be in the center. And then here's my piece. And this bow also, this would look great on this size finishing piece. You could also put it on here. There's a couple cute patriotic pieces with a flag that this would be a really cute bow for. me think. I think that's pretty much all for that. I am going to make a few other bows to add into the giveaway box with some other embellishments on them for the 4th of July. And I'll do a couple Christmas bows in there as well. If you are interested in entering the giveaway, like the video, so make sure you're a subscriber to my channel, be over the age of 18, and then leave a comment using the word bow, B-O-W, and I am going to draw the winner 1 week from when the video is posted. So whatever the date is that the video is posted, 1 week from then is when I will draw for the bows. And I am also going to purchase a covered button kit, and I will include that in there as well. So you're going to use the word bow in your comment, and I will use the random comment picker to pick a winner to win some of the bows that we made, actually all of the bows that we made tonight. And I'll also make a few more, and I'll add some magnets to the back of them in case you're interested in attaching them to magnetic pieces, or if you would like to, you could put a small washer on the back as well. But I hope that you learned something new or found something helpful in the tutorial. If you still have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I'm more than happy to add some to another video on making bows or embellishing the bows. But I hope that you guys have a great night, have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.